Welcome everybody to the Lime Street Conversations. My name is John Kaponi. I'm the CEO of J7 Communications, and today, with extra pleasure and delight, I've got Peter Teluk, partner at a Ukrainian law firm based in Kiev, Sayenko Kharenko.
Are there difficulties? Absolutely. When's the best time to invest? When the market is down and opportunities are cheaper. Once it goes up, then it's more difficult. I've seen two revolutions here. I've seen governments that are more authoritarian, more democratic. What's always amazing is, despite all the difficulties proposed by the government, business goes on. And it does keep growing, and it does keep developing, notwithstanding whatever the efforts of the government are. I think Zelensky is trying to do a good job, and I think he's working on further reform. And on the whole, it's a big mindset here, because the laws in Ukraine have always been pretty good. The laws aren't horrible. It's the enforcement of the laws, it's the interpretation of the laws by the regulatory authorities that have always caused problems. And that mindset has slowly been shifting. So if we're talking about, is now a good time? Yeah, I think now is a good time anywhere in the world, especially with the ravages of COVID. Companies that have survived may be sitting on cash and maybe looking for the next opportunity. So I think Ukraine is. Okay. I think Zelensky personally is a young, honest, trying to do new politician. What he encountered once he got elected, because you get elected by the popular vote, getting elected and governing are always two different matters. And especially here in Ukraine, where you've had kind of entrenched or vested interests that have always exist. Sometimes they're characterized as oligarchical interests. Sometimes they're vested interests, the businessmen or whatever. But that does exist over here. So any kind of true reform, and then there's also the government bureaucracy that winds up existing. This is something I saw firsthand when I was at the Ministry of Economy. The minister, all the deputy ministers, yes, they all want reform, but you know what? There's 1,200 people working underneath.
Wow.
No one person can change it. So I think Zelensky means well, and he's trying. He's a novice to politics. He got elected with a number of kind of different hidden factions supporting him. And as is natural in politics, once you get into power, you start looking not to just to help out the person who got elected, but you start looking out after your own self-interest. So I think he's done a good job of trying to keep that from falling apart. I think he's done a good turn in the past. I think he made some initial mistakes with quickly letting go of part of his government that I think was extremely reform-minded, and he decided he needed some shake-up in the cabinet of ministers, but also dealing with the pressures of Russia, the Russian aggression, and also dealing with COVID in the past year. So, and I think over the past couple months, we've seen he's kind of turning the corner and saying, okay, I got to come out publicly and take some acts to show that I am fighting certain of the vested interests that exist over here. Hopefully he survives and the reforms keep going forward. Other practical advice: if you do get into trouble with the Ukrainian courts and things do get dirty here with international investors, always play the clean long game. In the end, it works out. In the end, it will work out, even though there is sometimes pressures and there's the desire to resolve things quickly, and the other sides are playing with different rules, so to speak. But with respect to international investors, if you keep your nose clean, if the law is on your side, it might not come out initially, and the authorities might try to play it a different way, but it will resolve itself.